Just figuring out like what is difficult means that less people are likely to do it and less companies are likely to do it. So if you invest in doing that thing, then your probability of success in terms of developing that as a marketing channel that works is higher. The number one thing I'd focus on to improve SEO right now is on updating your older content. That's usually the biggest quick win you can get. Yes, publishing new content and targeting new keywords is important, but most people let their content sort of rot and decay over time. A solid update and improvement can often improve organic traffic to an older blog post by 2 to 3 times. With Google Webmaster Tools, for a lot of our keywords, it will just bounce around sometimes. Like some months it will be, doing really well, and that could be seasonal, but other times it will really jump around. Like it will be, okay, number 2 position for a week, and then, or even a few days, and then go back down or back up. So
just always changing.
Yeah. I mean, another tip related to that is pruning. So rather than, or in addition to taking existing content and improving on it, you can just delete content that's not doing well and maybe not relevant in terms of the overall subject matter of the blog. But if it's more difficult to do, it's more likely that if you do it, you will succeed. And the reason is because regardless of whether you do it well or not, as long as you do something that other people are not doing, then you're more likely to get gains from it. So I think mobile is part of that, because I think a lot of, at least in my experience, I'm usually sitting at a laptop when I'm thinking about SEO and content marketing. And so I'm kind of seeing it through that perspective a lot, even though I use my phone like crazy. But because it's like a lower visibility optimization opportunity, we haven't invested in it as much. And I think that's probably true for a lot of other businesses and brands. Voice search, with assistants, I have a Google Home, and it seems pretty basic now compared to ChatGPT, but I do use it for questions. But I'm not sure if that's really a big opportunity for businesses. I think mobile is definitely larger in terms of priorities. The second largest search engine on the internet is YouTube. And the content and the format that you get it from YouTube is something that ChatGPT just doesn't deliver. It's text-based. So that is more of a traditional, compared to like whatever, traditional a year ago, pre-ChatGPT era. That's still something I think that you can use just traditional, regular SEO methods and research and get a good result. I saw one of our videos that has done quite well. And one of the things that we did with that was we actually pasted the entire introduction of the article into the description of it. And we also made sure to update it with our A/B tested title. So we picked the winner and then we put that on the video as well. And having a thumbnail that was professionally designed also helped. Plus, it was a good title that clearly was short. It fit within YouTube's, preferred algorithm range, and the keyword, which was about pre-selling, was in there as well. So that worked quite well. That article and video is from a while ago, but it just continues to rank well and to get a lot of views on YouTube. Perhaps Google can figure out, again, I'm just thinking out loud about this, no hard evidence yet, but I'm just thinking of the model. The model that worked is like Google and content creators have a symbiotic relationship. You are incentivized to create more content in order to get more traffic, and Google therefore is able to provide better and better results. The cycle continues. It's a network effect. But with the quality of the experience with an AI chatbot, where it can give you more complete information like instantly without having to click and sort through information, more personalized, how do you kind of maintain that incentive?
Yeah, it seems the general sentiment among these guys is that SEO is not going anywhere, basically, but it's it's evolving to match up with the onslaught of AI. It gets to the point after you use something for so long, it just starts repeating itself. It seems like it doesn't really provide as much value as you initially thought. It still is really good for filling in gaps or coming up with different things that you didn't think of, like that other, I forgot who said it, but we were just talking about it. But for things like that, at some point you just kind of have to let it go and use your own brain power, because I think that's infinitely more valuable, I think, at least at this point in time.
I'm going to send you this video that I found really interesting with Neil Patel talking about, I think, kind of answering the question a little more directly, where there's transactional keywords, which he thinks will not be affected, searching for like purchasing something something, researching prices, services. And that makes sense because you would not go to ChatGPT, at least right now, to buy something based on the experience. But you would go there for informational keywords. When you were saying that, I was thinking about the difference between, going and talking to, Einstein or von Neumann or something versus like going to a library and asking a librarian for, teach me physics about the universe, and they'll give you 100 different books or whatever. Einstein will tell you a lot of things and can teach you a lot, but there are, for every topic, there are going to be underlying, biases and this and that, and you kind of want to go and try out a different expert.
What's the impact for transactional keywords?
The analogy that we were talking about a second ago, where you could go and talk to Einstein or von Neumann or Richard Feynman, they might symbolize going to ChatGPT, for instance, which you can learn a lot from, but in certain domains especially, their data set might be weak that they were trained on, and they just won't be an expert on everything. The model of going to a library, like going to Google directly, which would be the library in this case, and being able to see all of the original sources, which have their own underlying biases and incomplete data or information, still will have some appeal. I think that with the release of ChatGPT, I think that there has been an incredible amount of hype and expectation, but I do think it is well-founded. And I think that non-transactional keywords are definitely going to decrease in terms of the impact on traffic going directly to websites. I think that the 100 million plus users that signed up for ChatGPT in the first, month, even with that amount of growth and me actually working like from scratch building AI myself, apparently, for me at least, I'm still using it to research like people individually, in part because I actually don't trust the data set that ChatGPT was trained on. So the AI is trained to output something. It doesn't seem to be very aware though when it has a gap of knowledge. It doesn't seem to be self-aware on that. But I think that that gap is going to close over time once they figure out how to have AI models that don't hallucinate, that give you real-time information. Then I think, the attraction to it will be stronger. In addition, this is also why they are racing like crazy to roll out new features and fix these gaps in terms of its overall value. So they want to build what they don't have, which is a network effect. So with Google, the network effect is, okay, we have a lot of people searching, therefore we have more people producing content and optimizing for those searches. So therefore the results get better, which attract more people to search, and on this loop goes. But that doesn't happen with ChatGPT yet. I mean, they're getting plenty of data in terms of people searching, but whether or not they're actually using that data to then train ChatGPT is a little up in the air. They do have some reinforcement learning in terms of the thumbs up and the thumbs down. I don't know how much of that they actually use though to retrain it, but it doesn't seem at the moment, based on the algorithm and the methods they're using, like an easy task to just update it, especially because if they're serving so many people, it kind of slows them down. They can't innovate as fast because they found something that works. So kind of ironic. But the plugins, OpenAI and probably Google, are just going to copy each other. Like, oh, everything's going to integrate with it. You can go to ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, I want Grubhub. Send me some Thai food. And, I don't really feel comfortable doing that right now, but that's what they're going to.
I think it's going to take a while for people to trust it to do things like that.
A marketer came out with a video on YouTube the other day, said, the next step is AI agents, which is sort of this plugins model where you can say, ChatGPT, I want you to go out on the web. I want you to do a task. I want you to gather me news. I want you to go and find me information on this topic, for example. And it will do that. And it seems, like a pretty good use of it. But again, that trust factor, I think it could take years and years for that too.
Yeah, I think so too. As far as adapting to how SEO is evolving and being a marketing company like AutoGrow, what do you think would be overall like a good strategy to move towards as far as like adapting to the changing landscape of all of this?
I think understanding the difference in value in terms of the marketing assets that you're building is really important. So there's paid media and there is owned media. Paid media would be Facebook ads, Google ads, and at the bottom, starting to transition over to the other side, which would be owned media, meaning like distribution channels and marketing channels that a company has a fair amount, if not a complete amount, of ownership and control over. And those would be an email list and marketing, list of affiliates, and they have their own distribution channels, means of selling. That would be the highest degree of control, because even with an email list, Gmail could just block you. I mean, we haven't seen this happen, but you never know. So word of mouth, you have the most control over, because you can control the quality of your product and your service. For the near term, investing in more channels, just figuring out like what is difficult, because it is slightly more difficult or much more difficult means that less people are likely to do it, less companies are likely to do it. So if you invest in doing that thing, then your probability of success in terms of developing that as a marketing channel that works is higher, because less people are doing it. So, video, for example, content that actually is quality of content. It's really easy to spend 30 minutes, tell ChatGPT, write me this article and spit something out. It's another thing to spend 10 hours or more on it and make it really good and really answering the question.
And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and that is work that matters too.
Hey, how are you? Would you like to make your copy and content on your website more appealing to 73% of visitors who are coming to your site looking for this information? Of course you would. Once again, my name is Matt Ackerson. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm the founder and CEO of AutoGrow.co. We help agencies and a wide variety of other types of clients to grow and to scale just by giving them the ability to delegate all of their marketing tasks and projects without the typical headaches involved in hiring. Potentially doubling your client's revenue without having to hire more people, then I would say consider signing up. Increase your capacity to take on more clients. Check us out at AutoGrow.co and sign up for a $7 for 7-day trial, $7, and you get up to 2 projects with that, or a full week, whichever comes first. All right, so until next time, keep auto growing, stay focused. I'll see you soon.